My first summer as a flight instructor, I went for an early morning flight with a student. All we were going to do was a quick review before her flight test, which was scheduled for later that day. After we took off, though, the weather closed in on us. It wasn't in the forecast, which we had both checked, but that morning, wanting to get in that flight early, I didn't really take fully into account what might happen, even though years before, as a student pilot, I'd been caught in a similar unexpected weather change that caused some anxious moments. A cloud bank quickly formed below us, making it impossible to see the ground, and the airport, which we'd just departed from only 10 minutes previously, shut down. I tried to get into two other nearby airports, but both of them closed due to the weather as well. We were stuck above the weather, unable to see the ground, and since it was supposed to be a short flight, we didn't have much fuel on board. To make a long story short, we eventually found a break in the clouds and made a precautionary landing off the airport in a hayfield, a procedure which we teach every pilot very early in their flight training. But I could have done a better job of preparing for that flight, and believe me, I learned that lesson very well. Thankfully, we were able to draw on our training and come up with a plan that saved us. Every pilot knows the plan is never the flight. Weather changes, airports close, aircraft systems fail. That's why we make alternate plans and rehearse what-ifs before we leave the ground. Retirement works the same way. Your life plan needs contingencies. Hi, Doug here with Next Phase Navigation, helping you to plan the retirement phase of your life. If you find this video helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Retirement rarely goes exactly as planned. In fact, a 2023 Retirement Confidence Survey by the Employee Benefit Research Institute found that 2/3 of retirees experienced unforeseen circumstances, such as health issues, job loss, or needing to provide financial support to family members. Fidelity reported that 4 in 10 retirees retire earlier than planned, often because of health concerns or layoffs. And here in Canada, a 2022 Royal Bank of Canada Retirement Myths and Realities poll showed that more than half of retirees said they face surprises in retirement, most often around health and finances. These aren't small bumps. They can alter income, housing, health, and relationships in ways that can last for decades. In aviation, we don't just chart a straight line from A to B. When I planned a flight, I considered the weather and anything that might go wrong along the way. So I'd planned for possible alternate airports, run through takeoff and landing briefings covering potential failures or diversions, review emergency procedures for likely mechanical problems, and even pack survival gear. Retirement deserves the same rigor. You plan your destination, but you also need alternate routes if storms roll in. Take some time to examine where you may be most vulnerable. Is it in your finances because of inflation or investment downturns or unexpected expenses? Maybe it's your housing, renting versus owning, downsizing, or accessibility needs later in life. And health is a big one. Here in Canada, we're very blessed to have universal health care, which covers much but not everything. Out-of-pocket expenses for dental, vision care, prescriptions, and long-term care can be substantial. Estimates suggest older Canadians face average out-of-pocket costs of around $5,400 a year, according to the Canadian Institute for Health Information. Other countries, such as the US, which doesn't have such care, retirees may face much higher costs. Fidelity estimates about $157,000 per couple for retirement health care. And then there's social relationships. Divorce or shrinking social circles can leave retirees isolated. And family obligations, supporting adult children or caring for aging parents, can redirect financial and emotional resources. You need to build alternate plans. For your income, if one source dries up, what's your backup? For example, are you going to need to go back to work part-time? Do you need to start a side hustle? Look at rental income or creating annuities from your savings. Your housing, if maintaining your home becomes a burden, do you have downsizing or rental options mapped out? And then healthcare. Explore supplemental insurance, set aside dedicated savings, or research local long-term care facilities now rather than later. When it comes to your social circle, intentionally expand your network. Clubs, volunteering, community programs, whatever you're interested in, to avoid being caught without any support. Just as pilots use a checklist for almost every normal and emergency procedure, consider creating a one-page contingency card for retirement. List the categories where you feel most vulnerable, and these will be different for everyone: finances, housing, health, social, and family. For each one, write down your top vulnerabilities and list several possible alternative plans. Review and update it regularly to keep it current. Now, this video isn't meant to make you panic, and let's be honest, you can't predict everything that might go wrong, nor can you create a perfect plan for every contingency. I could tell you many stories from my flying days and from life in general of unexpected emergencies that I faced. But retirement isn't about flying blind either. It's about flying prepared. By building in contingencies, you can navigate turbulence with calm confidence. After all, it's not the perfect plan that gets us there, but the prepared pilot who always has an alternative and, if you can't find one, can create one when it's needed. Be prepared. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.